Guys, when I first watched Lazy Purple's How It Feels to Play Pyro, I didn't actually know how it felt to play Pyro. But now that I do, I'm excited to see how it feels to play Pyro's extras. Let's get into it.
Lazy here, and just like with the sniper video, I have a ton of extra footage to throw your way. These clips were either just too funny for me to throw away, or explain some point that I didn't have time to make in the main video. Also, I know it's Halloween and all, but I don't really have a spooky video for you because my life is very normal right now, and I am not in any danger.
Uh-oh. It's pixelated soldier with beard.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear this? Listen, guys, the Pyromanes have taken me hostage. They were pissed that I didn't talk more about W+M1ing or Pyro's wide variety of weapons, so they're making me do it all over.
I want you to think about the last quiz that you've seen circulating on social media. It probably looks something like this. Notice anything? The answers reveal personally identifiable information. Information that's often used in password recovery on many sites. When we think about scams, our thinking is often out of date. We still think about the Nigerian prince scam or military imposter scams. But the truth is, hackers are constantly updating and reinventing their methods in ways you can't imagine until it's too late. If you think it can't happen to you, know that in 2020, Americans lost $56 billion to identity fraud. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aura, who's sponsoring today's video. Aura is identity theft protection and insurance, fraud monitoring, a VPN, a password management app, and antivirus software, all combined into one easy-to-use app. Aura monitors the dark web for your emails, passwords, and social security numbers, and alerts you within 24 hours if it's leaked. When it comes to fraud, every second matters. Connect your bank and credit card accounts and get notified of changes 4 times faster than Aura's competitors. And their VPN allows you to stay safe online by ensuring that your browsing history and personal information remains safe and encrypted. And their antivirus software will block malware and viruses before they infect your device. And should your identity be compromised, Aura comes with $1 million in identity theft insurance. And they have a US-based customer service team that can help you resolve any incidents. Don't put your identity at risk. Try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if your personally identifiable information has leaked online. See why Aura has earned an excellent rating from Trustpilot and protect yourself today. Click the link in the description or go to aura.com/mhgr. That's aura.com/mhgr. And thanks again to Aura for sponsoring today's video.
First of all, trust me when I say that I really wish I had thought of a way to include more W+M1ing clips. It's not like I don't W+M1, it's just that W+M1 clips tend to be drawn out and I don't know what to say about them. I mean, I killed a lot of people and then died, hooray! I will say though.
Yep, alright, well I appreciate him addressing my play style, which is of course W+M1ing, because touching more than 2 buttons at once is a lot for me.
That some real magic can happen in the rare instances that a medic uses their crits or Uber on you. Like what other class can get 8 kills with just 1 click of the mouse? Now of course, some people are on a never-ending crusade to demonize W+M1.
Pyro is overpowered!
But this clip might change their mind. I have this scout right where I want him. This is the perfect situation to W+M1 him, right? And yet...
Yeah, I gotta say, a lot of people believe it's overpowered, and it's definitely nice to be able to light someone on fire and just dip away and watch them burn to death. But the idea that you can push hard into an opponent and always achieve victory is false. Definitely false. As we've seen, it's just as likely that they are going to either run to a friendly or put themselves in a place, a geographic place, where they are much more likely to be able to engage you, right? This is, of course, a military principle. Simple. Choosing the spot that you fight and selecting what's called favorable terrain. Now, for a scout versus pyro interaction, as you can see, Pyro actually has the immensely favorable terrain because they're an area weapon and they're a close range weapon. So Scout, in contrast, has a slightly longer range weapon in the form of the shotgun or even his pistol. So what he wants is a more open space where he can both maneuver and take advantage of his long range fire. Pyro, of course, wants a tight space where Scout cannot maneuver and cannot exploit his range advantage. So the fact that Pyro still lost this fight is a testament to the fact that in military operations, like in every other facet of real life, no outcome is certain.
You might say, oh, well, you're not doing it right. You got to use the back burner. But I found myself baffled at how stingy the game is about being behind someone. Like, is this your back? Is this your back? Oh, okay, that was your back. Next, please observe this image. Would you say I'm behind this medic? Apparently not. How about now? How about now? How about no, I was apparently never behind him. You might then say, oh, well, you're still not doing it right. Where's your jetpack? To which I say, wow, thanks, jetpack. There's nowhere I'd rather be than in between 3 heavies. I even tried doing it from a much higher point and still got caught on the way down. Either I'm doing it wrong or I'm just getting really unlucky every time I try it, but it just doesn't work for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is that all things considered...
Yeah, what he's doing is what we sometimes call airborne operations. And he's actually found an actual problem in real airborne operations, is that once those airborne paratroopers hit the ground, they're sort of stuck there. Because even with modern technology, it's hard to drop a lot of mechanized equipment, i.e., armored personnel carriers, Humvees, anything that's going to let your force maneuver. And so on the battlefield, you drop in all these paratroopers, and then they can only go where their feet can march them, meaning that they're sort of stuck in place while the enemy forces, who may have tanks or crew-served weapons or artillery, can maneuver around them. So you can basically put down airborne troopers, but they absolutely always 100% of the time need to have a plan to quickly link up with a main body of forces so that they can get resupplied. Paratroopers generally drop with about enough supplies to fight for 3 days. So if a paratrooper gets stuck for more than that amount of time, they're going to get in trouble. In the case of this Pyro, you saw dropping into the middle of 3 heavies, they had seconds before they were going to get torn apart. So he had to have his friendlies pushing in at the same time, meaning that the heavies would have to choose between smoking the Pyro and smoking the threat on the ground.
WM1 isn't broken good or broken bad, and it does take some skill to know when you should commit to it.
You know, I actually agree with the Pyro mains on this one, but it can feel like bullshit when the WM1 Pyro has a pocket medic. Wait, why am I defending them right now? Please, somebody send help! I'm currently located at...
Finally now!
This is absolutely a thing the real Pyro would do, by the way.
I can talk about Pyro secondaries. I had a whole bit written up about them where I was going to put them on a scale from annoying to lethal, but the video didn't have room for it in the end.
Guys, I'm serious right now. This isn't some ha-ha funny shit, alright? I really appreciate that you saved my ass. Why is nobody coming to save me?
Well, we know how this turned out. Fine, because Lazy Purple's still making content.
Let's start with a crowd favorite, the Scorch Shot. Yes, okay, look, I get that this thing is a bit annoying. I mean, in just these 7 seconds of footage, I've set 5 people on fire. At least I'm having...
I mean, this is a level of precision shooting that is pretty hard to replicate by a casual or even another experienced player.
Fun. And things can get really sad when you use this thing to trap the enemy in their spawn.
Move!
I mean, it's not that effective because if you're trapped in your spawn, you should also be trapped next to a health dispenser where you can just sit until you get more health.
But remember, if you think that the Scorch Shot is unfun to play against, you are objectively wrong. I can't say this, that's ridiculous. Everyone can have an opinion about it. Ah!
Why does Pyro have a taser in this scenario?
Listen, I actually do like playing Pyro, okay? But I get that it's not fun for everyone. If they would just let me explain, I'd tell you that... Oh god, they heard me. Oh god, I have to run. I'm sorry.
Then we...
I appreciate that every Team Fortress 2 content creator has their own avatar in the game. They're not just... He's not just a soldier. He's soldier with a really long beard. Which is funny because I can't picture Lazy as having his own long beard himself. Though, I do want to point out that if you guys watched iDubbbz's latest documentary, I know you're like, iDubbbz, this isn't anything to do with Paul's content. Not true. Look in the description. You can see, you know who did the sound mixing? That's right, Soundsmith. TF2 creator of legend, Soundsmith. And do you know who did the editing? That's right, Uncle Dane. Yeah, Uncle Dane cut iDubbbz's Sam Hyde documentary. Bananas.
We have the detonator. It's very satisfying to time a detonation that sends two snipers running ablaze and then dying to an obvious spy because you were focusing way too hard on timing your next detonation. But
that was a pretty obvious spy, yeah.
the real pleasure of the detonator is watching some chumps run up the stairs and then deciding you're too cool for that shit. And then you have the good old flare gun.
Okay, that is a level of high-skilled trolling that just warms my heart. There's nothing quite like being a troll.
Oh my god, they're right there, oh my god, no.
One of Pyro's
Man, he's gonna get W+M1'd.
most skillful secondaries, using the flare gun is the only time I've gotten the enemy's respect.
Nice flare.
If I had to give this weapon a tagline, it would be, haha, I can kill anyone as long as they're moving in a straight line. The flare gun isn't used much these days, but back in my day...
Oh man, I love the boomer troll.
It was much
Boomer
better
Jack?
because air blast used to send your opponent in a completely unwavering straight line. The flare combo is much harder to pull off now, so throw some respect at the handsome pyros that still insist on using it. Okay, I think I lost them. Oh my god, I think I lost them. This beard! I have to get rid of this beard! Change my name, maybe. Oh man, oh man!
Okay, the lilacs coming down? This is very intimate.
Good thing this video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club!
Oh man, that's pretty crafty. Love it. But I'm glad he's getting sponsorship money here. We'll dollarshaveclub.com/lazy.
$5. Because when you support Dollar Shave Club, you help them support creators like me. Oh god, it's them. I've got to be more quiet. Well, since we're doing a behind-the-scenes video anyway, I might as well show you how I've been recording all my audio. That's right. This is me, right now, under a blanket, speaking to you. At least until I fix this room's acoustics. Big thankies from McSpankies to Soundsmith for the advice of recording under a blanket. Anyway,
that is hilarious. Also, shout out to Soundsmith. Congrats, bro, on mixing iDubbbz's documentary, which has, I mean, I don't know how many views it has, but I hope it has a lot. I mean, I got it when it debuted and I watched the whole thing, so I helped the algo.
the pyro mains won't hear me now, so let's press on.
I don't know why I think he's watching.
Some pyros insist on using stock shotgun, and while I find that to be a respectable choice, it just makes me feel like a slower scout that keeps a flamethrower secondary.
I'm like pretty sure that most creators do watch my reactions because they're pretty prominent
For reflex.
And especially if it gets a few thousand views, like they'll watch, they're curious.
I much prefer the panic attack since it encourages you to play with the degreaser for instant switch action. Believe it or not, the degreaser and panic attack combo is the highest single target damage that Pyro can do, making it possible to 1v1 heavies now. This is because the fire particles linger and do damage even while you're sneaking in a shotgun hit.
Okay, this is... Okay, I'm sort of confused, but okay.
In other words,
There's so many weird weapons in TF2.
you practically get to dual wield them.
Oh, we've all had those moments as Pyro where we just wish we could charge recklessly into the enemy, dual-wielding weapons and shooting them off while willy-nilly. In fact, what's interesting is that, I'm trying to think of how to talk about this. There are a lot of times in military operations where certain types of combatants, soldiers, etc., were sent on individual missions where they were not expected to return. Like we sometimes see with people that wear vests, you know what I'm talking about? So this is actually, unfortunately, a long-standing military tradition. Even almost 150 years ago, when the U.S. fought a insurgent movement in the Philippines, right? This was before World War I. The Philippines would have, I think they called them like moros or something. They would have individuals infiltrate, say, a US camp or charge a formation of US soldiers, armed often with several large blades, where they would just hack, slash, and attempt to take as many US personnel out with them as they could, with the expectation, of course, that they would not survive the encounter. It can be a really effective military tactic. It's also psychologically really damaging for troops in the real world. Obviously less so when you have respawn in a video game, but in the real world it can be very psychologically damaging because it shows a level of fanatic commitment of your enemy that can be kind of hard to internalize. Sort of like that demo man appeared.
More importantly, using the panic attack as a finisher can quickly secure you kills that were just about to get away. Not this time, Demo Man. I actually ended up preferring the panic attack so much that I'd often forget to change my playstyle when trying out flare guns, continuing to charge at heavies. Oh no, what the hell is this thing?
I am amused!
I am the news.
You might have noticed that I only ever use the power jack. Personally, I can't live without the power jack speed boost. And because the power jack encourages you to wear it around, you tend to end up with a lot of moments like this.
Oh, you guys have seen me do that. You know that's for sure.
Now I do equip the
This is why they say slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
home wrecker on.
So as you get faster and faster, you should understand that you don't necessarily need to think or jerk around faster than you can move. Just slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Decide on where you're gonna go with your speed boost and then go there.
Defense, and I've tried to do some cool things with the extinguisher, but did that count? See, there's an old joke among Pyro mains that goes something like this. This is what the power jack looks like to people who don't play Pyro. And this is what it feels like to people who do play Pyro.
Wow, Naruto heavy, dude. This video is worth it just to get Naruto heavy on my screen. Okay. And Naruto Scout. All right. Wow. This is like the 2010s middle school.
Also, the ability to make jumps that you couldn't without the power jack comes up way more often than you'd think.
Holy what? Oh no! I am scared. Get me!
I wonder who owns the copyright to this music. It's classic, right? It should be copyright expired.
And now, if you'll allow me, I'm about to pop off and dump like 24 air blast clips on you.
It's okay, suck.
I just cannot believe how many uniquely funny situations this mechanic can get you into, whether it's scaring a demo man into detonating some misplaced bombs, or stopping a
That's pretty fun.
jumping demo man from leaving your spawn.
Freedom!
No, please, I insist that you stay, my good man.
What just happened?
Oh man, yeah, Air Blast I really underutilize. I'll be the first to tell you.
The Demo Man clips just keep coming as this Demo Knight shows us why Air Blast...
Also, he's pointing out a real military principle, which is the idea that what's called turning and maneuvering is using obstacles and routes and key terrain to canalize your enemy, right? Force them into a location that's optimal for you, right? So not only do you select the location, but you force them to fight from the worst possible location. This is how good ambushes often are set up, in which the enemy is forced into a vulnerable position and the attackers are able to choose a very secure one.
completely counters him. See, Demo Knights are free game for an air blasting Pyro. There's just nothing they can do to get around it.
Oh man, damn. Ooh. Damn, he got Darth Mauled for sure.
Demo Knight TF2.
Demo Knight TF2, I just love it. Oh god.
Oh my god! Now that might have been too much to handle, but with Air Blast you can usually handle a solo Uber charge. Engineer, no! This is not the time for building a dispenser! Now this clip probably...
Putis, lazy.
would have made it into the main video if this next part lined up better. I airblast the soldier one last time into a well-placed spy, and if the spy was just maybe a little quicker and stabbed the soldier right as he landed, there was an opportunity for an SFM where the spy is like making the game-winning catch.
Oh.
This next clip also—
Okay, that's still pretty good, man. You could have still done that. A testament to Lazy Purple's commitment to making his videos, like, just so awesome. They're just so good.
So almost made it in with an SFM bit. I wanted to illustrate how these point-blank reflex where you don't even see their projectile come out feel like some sort of Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes bit.
What? Oh no!
Okay, that's a little grisly for Looney Tunes, but you know, old school Looney Tunes, you guys know, had some racy stuff in there, right? There was definitely like multiple like kids getting drunk. There's that one, the skunk who thought he was a cat who would like sexually harass the cat that wanted no part of it, and that was just a cartoon bit. People were just like, this is just that skunk. Some guys are skunks. They harass women. You're just like, wow, Looney Tunes, dark. And that's not even saying about the things we can't talk about, like everything they made in World War II. For those of you that don't know, they had some strong feelings about how to animate Japanese people.
Hold on, real quick, I'd like to take a moment to thank Alax for making this model, as well as the animatable Pyro mask, Angel Devil combo, the Panic Attack trigger, some models for this bit, the Baby Mercenaries, this stretchable spy mask, and even this scout head. On that same note, thank you to Arde for animating this whole scene, Circuit for assisting this freeze frame, 9Joe06 for this Minecraft torch particle, and all my patrons that frequent my Discord for their feedback. Good production is a team effort. Now,
that's cool. Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, I remain so impressed at the TF2 fan community. Like, I really do. As someone who's very new to TF2, it's just awesome to see what they can put together.
Now back to it. One of the most satisfying situations is to surprise an enemy that's already shooting your teammate. But hey, no, stop shooting at my sniper.
The old school Windows startup. Oh, that just triggered some memories for me, man.
And I'd like to enlighten you all to the zen of double reflex. The process of taking two stray rockets, crossing paths, and guiding them to a converging point, restoring order to all things.
Wow, that was impressive. That was a shot that he just wanted to put in there, just to prove that he had done it.
Next double.
Somewhere in a museum, I want to say it's in Turkey, there is a preserved two bullets that shot each other and got wedged, one bullet wedged inside the other. And it was preserved as a testament to show just how much fire, I believe, happened at the World War I Battle of Gallipoli, which was a disaster for the UK and the British, because they were just totally butchered by the Turks, thanks to some just comically bad bureaucratic wrangling and some questionable tactical strategic choices, rather.
Reflect is not so graceful, however, as I surprise what appears to be a symbiotic union of two default soldiers shooting two rockets at the same time, instantly killing one of them and watching as the other one politely burns to death. This reflex was graceful in its own way, perfectly skimming the control point to reach its destination of two unfortunate fellows.
Ooh, that was upsetting.
Oh, and here's a bit of a pro tip. Any soldier worth his salt will not shoot you if he doesn't have to, so be sure to threaten them with fire, even if your only intent is to hit a reflect. Some soldiers, however, need not be provoked. Hey soldier, can I borrow another rocket?
Okay. What the video shake?
Hey!
I mean, I gotta say, as someone who's air blasted, I feel like I've had a lot of air blasts where instead of reflecting back at the shooter, they're just sort of reflected away. There's been a couple times where I can reflect a rocket and it'll hit like a group, but man, this is just so much higher skill than I think even Lazy appreciates, probably because there's so many ultra veteran TF2 players that this just feels tried and true.
And just a friendly reminder to the soldiers out there, rocket jumping at me in a straight line does not make you invincible. Excuse me, soldier. soldier. I'm a little busy here with more important things. Come on, come on. Okay, got it. Apologies to Banny in advance, but I just had to include this clip somewhere of me completely stuffing him in the last seconds of the round. Best TF2 player in the world, huh? Then why doesn't he main Pyro, am I right, guys?
Can't get any shots on the point.
See, even he's having fun. All right.
That's that smile to mask the pain, like the meme.
Alright, just a few more air blast clips. Not many things are more painful than watching a soldier shoot a rocket at you from 50 yards and get 3 of his teammates hit in the reflex, resulting in a lost point. Don't be that soldier. This soldier, however, took the full brunt of his mistake, taking 296 damage and presumably flying to the moon.
Damn, there is nothing left to bury. Or what do they say? They're gonna bury you in a soup can. Actually, in space, the moon. In space, no one can hear you scream. That's not just a tagline. It's because there's no ambient oxygen, and of course, sound waves need vibrations to travel through for us to hear them. What I don't know though is, let's say that you were to, let's say it was you. Somehow an empty vacuum, you were in oxygen and atmosphere, an empty vacuum, more oxygen. I understand physically this is like not possible, but let's say you were to yell, "Soldier, get out of the way," and then the vibrations would travel through the air, and then would they just vibrate into nothing, I guess, or fade away? Would the energy be like radio waves, right? It would continue to travel through the empty vacuum. I don't actually know.
And finally, I just have to showcase that you can single-handedly capture the cart with the power of Air Blast. See ya, soldier! Oh, look, a heavy. There he goes!
That's what I'm talking about!
And easy.
Yeah, that I've done for sure. Cleared out the cart with some Air Blast.
Hopefully, seeing how much Air Blast can do might help you understand why the Flog's lack of it justifies the absolutely wild ability to store crits. I don't know what to say about this one. Fight it, Pyro!
Wow, that was a lot of crits.
What? Are you okay?
No, I'm not, dude! Am I dreaming? What just happened? But see, there is a bit of nuance to
That was indeed a true gamer moment.
using the Flog. A Pyro with crits often walks at you so predictably that it's possible to outplay them. So, if you're using the Flog, don't be that Pyro. I panic pop crits here, but I know that the demo man is smart enough to immediately put down a sticky trap. So I hold back, no matter how painful.
I just love his use of memes.
It is!
Sure enough, the demo man can't believe it and comes out to check, perishing horribly. And lastly, try to remember that it's essential to have full health before popping crits.
Ah, ha, ha. Okay, I appreciate that he named himself Lazy Purple as the ultimate meta troll, right? Where he's like, surely the real Lazy Purple would never name themselves Lazy Purple. Maybe he's in a private server, though.
Before we get to the SFM atrocities, I'd just like to share this short montage of catching spies at their worst.
Spy checking. God damn. Gangster spy. It's like gangster SpongeBob, man. Just can't get it done. Wah, wah, wah. I've done that on stream. You guys know this.
What the? Why did you stop? This is mine.
That is a Chad Pyro move right there.
Pyro, please.
All right, this like Windows turning on and off while dying is actually pretty creepy. One thing I will say is that if you ever, it's gonna sound super weird, in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, but particularly in Jiu-Jitsu, right, there's so many chokes that I think maybe like really once in my life have I been truly choked unconscious through just like a choke of such skill that I didn't appreciate that it was even in. By the time I noticed, it was like too late. And that's sort of what it feels like. It's like a weirdly disorienting, soothing way. Imagine you just went to sleep, the most peaceful sleep possible, and then you're awake, but you have no idea where you are. Like, imagine you went to bed last night and you woke up in the middle of a wrestling match. That's how disorienting it can feel. And so, yeah, the Windows noise as you like as an effect of a choke on a brain is actually like kind of right-ish.
Now I was going to explain these SFM glitches, but honestly, they explain themselves.
Look at that scout. Yeah, it's acrobatic right there. Ooh, yeah. Damn, that's warping through time and space. If you're looking for me to weigh in some sort of military fashion on this, it's unlikely to happen. Dark. What I will say, guys, some of these horrible, scary things could be used as psychological warfare. We've talked a little bit about how scary it can be to have an enemy so fanatic they are willing to sacrifice themselves for their cause. It can also, there's a lot of other things that can be used as fear tactics. In the Vietnam War, the U.S. Army actually broadcast these recordings meant to sound like the Vietnamese fighters' ancestors, returning as ghosts, either suffering or begging their children not to fight. They might have even done the voices of their dead comrades, talking about how horrible it is to be dead. Some of that is a cultural thing. The U.S. in Vietnam, there was a little bit more of a belief in sort of the proximity of the dead ancestors and comrades, and so they tried to exploit that using recordings transmitted into the jungles, which, even if you know they're fake on a subconscious level like advertising, it will still sort of exert some influence over your brain. Also, there's of course the graffiti. Another really grisly method of psychological warfare is the mutilation of bodies. Often, and this is extremely routine, dating back to before the times of the Romans, enemies would be mutilated both to prevent a dignified burial or as just a testament and a warning to others that if you're captured, horrible things will happen to you, alive or dead. Wow. I'm psychologically terrified of whatever that is. Also psychologically terrified of whatever that is. Still terrified. Yeah, help is right, dude. But help will never come.
Even without the glitches, SFM is full of surprises. It turns out that this Demonite charge effect we're used to isn't compatible with SFM, and the next best thing is to attach 7 instances of Scout's bonk particle instead. Honestly, my brain has blocked out the memories of this process, but just imagine that every time I wanted to make a change to something, I had to go into the editor for each particle and do it 7 times. What? What is that? How is that? And making the Minecraft scene was a bit of a chore. That's right, I had to manually place every single block, and it was not easy to get everything aligned. This next one's just a bit silly. For some reason, these torches don't move unless you record gameplay, so every time I wanted to render out the scene, I had to stuff a scout into this corner. How's it going, fellas? Let's get to work. For this shot, I needed to put the camera where Demo Man's head would be, so I had to move Demo Man's head. And finally, how else did you think I got this giant heavy hand?
You are saved now, child. That's some twice-baked memeage right there.
If you're a new subscriber, check out this playlist of all the How It Feels episodes. Also, I might start streaming a bit on Twitch, so check out the...
Guys, definitely want to support Lazy Purple. Obviously, this video is like 7 years old, so if you haven't watched it, you should. And you should also, like, I don't know, be his patron and stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. First off, follow me on Twitch. follow me on Twitch. I stream all sorts of stuff all the time, including Team Fortress Tuesdays. So you should definitely come by and check that out. But I also just sort of do whatever tickles my fancy. So please join me. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Oh, and thanks again to Aurora for sponsoring today's video.